Greetings, folks. It is still April the 25th, 2019. It's Thursday. This is my second commentary. And once again, here's a video that's recommended for me, and I think I know why. I've been supportive of Representative Omar. Not about everything. Although I haven't heard her say anything about healthcare or anything like that. But if I do, if she says she wants healthcare for the whole world, I would say something about that. It is unconstitutional. And she took an oath to support and defend the Constitution, which she told, who did she tell that to? Stephen Colbert. So, I will hold her to the Constitution. But what she says about government, what she says about Israel, what she said about everything along those lines is absolutely true. And so this guy, this guy is just trying to condemn her any way he can. Okay. Now he talks about terrorism. And he claims that she supports terroristic organizations. Okay? Now, for that, I want to enter a discussion about where terrorism comes from. Terrorism, especially ISIS, is a creation of the United States and Israel. And there's an article that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to give you the link that gives top 10 indications of why, that proves ISIS is a U.S.-Israeli creation. They start off by saying ISIS is a U.S.-Israeli creation, a fact as clear as the sky is blue. It's a truth as black and white as the colors on their flag, and so forth. So whatever name they use. Now the first reason they give, the first indication is ISIS foreknowledge via leaked DIA documents. The DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, is one of 16 U.S. military intelligence agencies, according to leaked documents obtained by Judicial Watch, and the DIA wrote on August the 12th, 2012, that there is the possibility of establishing a declared or undeclared Salafist principality in eastern Syria. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Hasaka and Der Zor? Anyway. And this is exactly what the supporting powers to the opposition want in order to isolate the Syrian regime. And you can go read more of that because I'm going to give you the link. There's a lot more. Okay? The second indication that Israel and U.S., and I think this is a very important point, ISIS never attacks Israel. Do you follow the news? Have you ever heard about ISIS attacking Israel? And there was a video, I don't know if it's still out there, but there was a video where Benjamin Netanyahu went to visit in the hospital ISIS soldiers, and he called them Israeli. So, you have those things. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know why Toyota Trucks is a reason why there's a creation, but you can read about that. ISIS has first-class social media skills. That's indication number 4. Indication number 5. Israeli group site first to release ISIS footage. Okay. Indication 6. ISIS leader Baghdadi, however you pronounce it, Baghdadi, whatever, is a Mossad agent. Okay. ISIS is a U.S. Israeli creation. Indication number 7. Leaked cable showing U.S. plotting Syrian overthrow. And by the way, that leak was by Julian Assange of WikiLeaks. Alright. ISIS is a U.S. Israeli creation. Indication number 8. Russia bombs ISIS. U.S. protects ISIS. There you go. Indication number 9. ISIS always the excuse for further intervention. You know, we can blame ISIS for everything. We can go in and claim we're fighting ISIS when we're not. Alright. And let's see. There's a concluding note and a video that doesn't exist anymore. But there's a concluding note. It's indication number 10. ISIS is an acronym for Mossad, the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. Interesting coincidence. Alright, so there's the 10 indications, and you can read the entire article. It's rather long. So, you know, it's probably for most people a 5-minute read, but for me it's at least a half-hour read. Because you see, when I read something, I'm digesting it at the same time. It takes a while to digest. You know, I don't have to go back and read it over and over again because I'm digesting it as I'm reading it, and that takes a long time. So, but I will give you the article, the link to the article. So, here you have it. We have terrorism, a terrorist organization called ISIS, created by the United States and Israel. Ooh. Nobody wants to hear that, do they? By the way, where did Al-Qaeda come from? Al-Qaeda is blamed for 9/11. Where did they come from? Guess who started Al-Qaeda? The Reagan administration. Yeah. The Reagan administration went to a fellow by the name of Osama bin Laden, and he wanted their help to get Russia out of Afghanistan. You remember that? So, out of that came Al-Qaeda. So, you know, and the Reagan administration gave them weapons, gave them funds, gave them everything they needed to get Russia out of Afghanistan. Yes. So, if you people who think that Ronald Reagan was such a great president, think again. So, terrorism is not Islamic. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we can find out that, you know, Hezbollah was started by the United States and Israel. You see, we need somebody to blame for certain attacks so that we can go in and attack again. We can send our military and we can claim that they're going after terroristic organizations when they're not. You know, when we were in Syria, we're still in Syria, but when we were bombing places in Syria, it was not against ISIS, it was against President Assad. It was a war of regime change. So we don't we're not trying to get rid of ISIS. We get rid of ISIS targets. The Assad administration has to go. So the first thing we do is we send ISIS in there. So what happens? Russia comes in and tries to mop up ISIS, while we protect ISIS and go after President Assad. Now that's what happened, folks. That's exactly what happened. You see, I follow the news. That is exactly what happened. We protected ISIS in Syria against the Russians. Anyway, folks, this man talks about terrorism and he hasn't a clue about terrorism. The inventors, there's a documentary about this. I'm going to try to find this documentary again about how Israel invented modern terrorism. And it talks about there was a hotel in Jerusalem that they attacked. Israel attacked. Oh, they didn't claim. They claimed it was terrorism, but the fact is, Israel attacked this hotel and killed a lot of people, including Jews. But there's a documentary, and I've got to try to find that so I can share it with you. All right. So here's a dimwit full of conservative mush that has no clue what he's talking about. None. I do believe Representative Omar does know what she's talking about. Now, is there possible that there is an organization out there that Muslims said, hey, you know what, we got to fight back? I mean, isn't it amazing that somebody who gets kicked in the teeth often enough, they might fight back? And that is going on in this world. The United States and Israel is kicking the teeth of the Muslims for a long time, and don't you think it's time that they fight back? What's wrong with... let me tell you something. If there was a bully, if there was a bully that kept on picking on you, don't you think you should fight back eventually? I mean, what if a guy comes and punches you in the face and knocks out a couple of teeth? Are you just going to let it happen? You see, that is what's going on in this world, folks. We are kicking Muslims in the teeth. Why? Because Israel wants their land. And you got this idiot by the name of Tyler Zed that doesn't understand that. This is why I support Ilhan Omar, because she's telling the truth. And I appreciate that. Now, let me tell you something. She did take an oath to support the Constitution. And if she ever does something against the Constitution, I will respond to that properly. But as she said on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, that she took an oath to support and defend the Constitution. Nothing that she said about Israel, nothing that she said about our own government having allegiance to Israel, none of that is unconstitutional. I mean, these people, we have a Congress full of treasonous people. I mean, Israel committed an act of war against us, I don't know how many times, and they have committed espionage. They attacked the USS Liberty, killed 34 people. They did an act of war, and we have been committing treason ever since. although it can't be called treason because nobody has ever declared Israel an enemy, but they are. The attack on the USS Liberty was equivalent to the attack on Pearl Harbor. And what was our response to that? Israel can get away with murder and we don't care about it. If you're a friend of Israel, you must hate America because Israel hates America. But these conservative idiots won't tell you the truth about that. This is another issue where Rush Limbaugh fears to tread. There, I got it right. Okay, folks, I gotta go. It's almost time for Charlie's Angels. But I gotta do production first before I can publish this. And I don't know. Somebody's not gonna like this. So who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen with it. But listen, folks, it's the truth. I am sure there are YouTube videos that says the same thing that I just said. That Israel is the inventor of modern terrorism. That the United States and Israel created ISIS. So I'm sure there are other videos that say that. So I don't think it's wrong for me to say that. But somebody's liable to complain. I wouldn't doubt it. Okay, that's my second commentary for today. Thank you for listening. Hey, leave your comments below. Thank you.